Hi everybody, I'm Marie Christiani, the Aerialist Chef. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a French pear walnut tart. We have 4 principal ingredients and then some supporting cast members. Let's get started. First things first, let's preheat our oven to 400 degrees. You will need a 9.5 or 10-inch removable bottom tart pan. You can see it has a little flared sides. All right, and today I'm using store-bought pie dough. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want you to be able to make this very quickly and not have an excuse. Although I will give you the instructions for making it from scratch yourself, which is what I actually prefer to do. If you are buying store-bought pie dough, I do prefer the ones in the refrigerated section. They're usually 2 to a box, and they come wrapped like this, and you just roll it, and then you roll it out to the size. They usually come in about a 9-inch circle. And if you're using a 9-inch tart pan like I am, you'll need to roll it to 12 inches, allowing for that little bit of extra, okay? So whatever size pan you're doing, allow 2 inches for the sides, okay? And I'm gonna show you how I love this rolling mat because it has all the measurements for me. I don't have to guess. And I'll take my rolling pin and just roll it out to the size that I need. Make sure that you bring your pie dough to room temperature before you roll it, or it will crack and break on you. You want it to be pliable. All right, I'll use my rolling pin. I'll roll it up and just roll it right into my, now, the only thing that makes it tricky is you want to gently push it down into the pie pan before you crimp it against the sides. You can see I'm easing it very gently. And I want to make sure that it's in the pan before I start pushing it against the edges. If it breaks, it's not the end of the world. You just take any excess and you patch it up. And when it bakes all together, nobody's going to see it and it will seal. All right, I have it in there, so I will just gently push it. I'm going to push the bottom edge first against the pie pan, the side, and once I have that, then I'm going to work on the top. And I'm just going to gently, as I push it to the side, fold over that little excess, and I'll show you how quickly I'll get rid of that, and you'll get a professional looking pie. There we go. Same technique for any size tart pan. You can even do little individual ones. All right. Now, you just take your rolling pin and roll it over the top, and it will cut that excess off for you. Voila, she is ready. See, simple. You could save the rest of this and you could make little decorative leaves or something for the very end if you want, or roll it and put a little bit of butter and cinnamon sugar. Kids love that. All right, this will go into the refrigerator to cool while we make the filling. I want to start peeling the pears. I'm using red pears today. I've used Camas, Bosque, Anjou. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure that they're ripe, but not overly ripe. They should yield just a little bit when you squeeze them. You want to go ahead and peel them. All right, the next thing I want to do is I will cut each pear in half straight down from the top through the core, and I want to remove the center. I do like to use a melon baller, but if you don't have that, you can even use a spoon. You want to be gentle because you don't want to take out too much flesh. I just want to get rid of the seeds, and then pears have that stem that run through here. You can see that, and I do want to take that. So I actually use a melon baller tool to clean that up there. And when somebody bites into it, it won't be so stiff. See? That's all I need. I want to take just a little bit of the lemon peel off in strips that I will add to the pan with the pears while they cook. And you'll see there's very little color. I don't want the white pit that's bitter. I just want all those oils from the lemon, okay? I'll put that in a bowl. I'll go ahead and squeeze this entire lemon and put that in the bowl and coat the pears with it, okay? That'll keep them from discoloring while I'm peeling them. I'm getting ready to make the poaching liquid for my pears. Now, any white wine will do. I was so fortunate to get a hold of this incredible Sauternes from France, from this Lafite winery, the Rothschild Lafite winery, and I'll put the information for this incredible wine down below if you're interested in getting some. All right, so the first thing I do is I put in the sugar, and then I pour in my wine. I want to add a few spices. You don't have to, you can do it just like this and it's fabulous, okay? But I'll put a couple sticks of cinnamon, some allspice because I have it, and I absolutely love green cardamom. I get it at Middle Eastern stores, Asian stores, and I'll take and just squish them just a little bit to release them and put them in there. I'm gonna stir that around, and then we need to go to the stove and just put it over medium-high heat to dissolve the sugar. Over medium-high heat, I'll stir until the sugar is completely dissolved. That just takes 2 or 3 minutes. Once the sugar is dissolved, we'll add our pears along with the lemon juice and the lemon peels. If your pears aren't fully submerged, just add enough water to come over the top, but you can see mine are perfectly fine. All right, we're gonna bring that to a simmer and just let it cook until the pears are cooked all the way through, about 15 minutes. The pears are done when you put a knife and the pears just slip right off. You can see how they're ready to go, all right? Our pears are ready. We'll remove them to a cooling rack over a cake pan to catch the drippings. I want to put the syrup back on the stove, and you don't need to do this step, but why waste that wonderful wine? I'm going to turn it into a syrup, and I'm going to show you how I do it. I place the poaching liquid back on the stove at medium-high heat, and I let it boil until it's going to reduce by about 3/4. It should have the consistency of a thick maple syrup when it's finished. Our pears are cooked and ready to go. I've just removed this from the fridge and I want to work quickly. I don't want it to heat up. The first thing, I'm going to place the apricot preserves. You can use jelly, jam, it doesn't matter. I don't mind if it has a little bit of consistency of some apricot in it. I actually like that. If that bothers you, push it through a screen. All right, I'm going to smear it around on the bottom. I want a thin layer, but I definitely want it all the way around, and as the tart cooks, that jam comes up around the pears. That looks pretty good. You want to get all the way to the edge. You'll see how I cut and shingle the pears. Now, I don't really measure this, but it takes about a cup of preserves. I'll reserve a couple tablespoons that I'll then glaze the top of the tart before it goes in. Then I see chunks of apricot, and I actually really like that. All right, that's about right. You see the bottom is completely covered, but not a lot. All right, we'll set that aside. And I want to start shingling my pears. So I have my pear here. I want to put the tart shell where you can see it clearly as well. And I want to make angular cuts, keeping the pear intact. You'll see they're not very thick slices. I'd say about 1/4 of an inch. You can see the size of them. And this is the stem side, and it will go toward the center of the tart shell. So I'll place it in here, and I'll just push it to fan it out a little bit with my hand. And I'll do that with all the pears. Last one. I'll take a look at it, and I'll move them around so that it is pleasing to look at, and it has a nice balance. You see how they're all kind of across from each other? All right, I take my walnuts in pieces. I actually like to break them up by hand, and all the gaps that you see between the pears, you will fill in with walnuts. Again, this takes about 1 cup. But don't try to remember it. I'll have all the information you need down in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe my channel so I can keep doing these. Let me know what you think, and if you have any suggestions that you would like to see me cook. I like a lot of walnuts, so sometimes I cheat, and I'll even stick them around here. Don't tell anybody. Can't have too many walnuts, can you? Doesn't that look yummy already? So simple. 4 main ingredients: apricot, pear, walnuts, and wine. Look at that. All right, that's enough. I can't squeeze any more in there. All right, now I took a couple tablespoons of jam, and I use that poaching liquid, about 3 tablespoons, so that it would loosen up. You can see I stirred around, and I will use that to go back, and I'm going to brush over the top of the entire tart, including the walnuts. And this will give it a nice shiny glaze. My poaching liquid is still cooking away back there, and you'll see it's all going to come together. Now, of course, this is a French tart, so you have to have coffee made in a French press. We'll cook this in the 400-degree oven, and I can't tell you how long because depending on your oven, but it could take about 45 minutes to a little bit over an hour. But what you're looking for, the pears are cooked. What you're looking for, the pears are cooked. You want to see golden crust. You want that to be cooked but not overly browned. If it starts browning too much, you can always cover it with foil. Into the oven we go. You can see our poaching liquid has reduced quite a bit, at least by half. And I'm going to go just a little bit longer. You can see it's thickening up. I want it just a little bit thicker. So I've actually cut back on the heat because it was boiling. Now when you get low like this, you want to reduce to just a nice simmer. So whatever that is on your stove, go to simmer, because you want to take it the rest of the way gently. If you keep boiling it, it'll go from this to nothing burned in just a minute. So let's keep an eye on it, and you can see what it looks like. Our poaching liquid has turned into a beautiful golden syrup. Look at that. That's exactly what I'm looking for. You can see it's pretty much reduced, but we have enough that we could decorate quite a few plates with that. You could even use this in different cocktails. It's a wonderful, simple syrup. I'm going to take my reduced syrup and I'll pour it through a fine mesh strainer to make sure all those spices are gone. There we go. What we're left with is a beautiful sauce. There you have it, French pear walnut tart. You see how simple that was? Simple yet delicious. Nice crunchy walnuts, golden flaky crust. I made just a little bit of fresh vanilla whipped cream. I never get tired of that, especially with a really good cup of coffee. Delicious. Thank you to Sarasota Tea and Coffee Company for the wonderful coffee beans. You can check them out online. Go ahead and make this. Let me know what you think. Subscribe, like my channel, and I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.